Hey guys! Well, I'm finally back from Australia, and I have to admit, that was a very enjoyable trip. Although I will say that the long-haul flight was, kinda boring. I mean, sitting down for 14 hours with very little to do and very little space to move in? Yeah, it's not the greatest thing, but whatever. That's not the main part of the trip, is it? It's getting there that's the best part. Now, before anybody says anything, no, I was not able to visit Ayers Rock or the Great Barrier Reef while I was there this time. Mostly because I was on the east coast of Australia, and Ayers Rock is here somewhere in the Northern Territory, and the Great Barrier Reef is here, I think? Anyway, I was able to visit the Sydney Opera House, and I highly recommend it to anybody who plans to go and visit Australia. Though, one thing about Sydney itself, I will say don't spend too much time in the actual city. Because once you've done the Opera House, the harbour and the bridge, there really isn't much else to do around there. So go and do a tour of something like the Blue Mountains or something like I did outside of the city, because that's where you'll see most of the really nice stuff. I was also able to spend some time down in Melbourne while I was in Australia as well, which of course meant that I could meet my good friend Mike Set while I was there too, and that was great fun. I was also able to catch an expo as well, which just happened to be on that same weekend. One thing I will say about those is that I discovered that it's very easy to spend a lot of money in those places, because you quite literally walk in and go, I want to buy that, I want to buy that, I want to buy that, I want to buy everything! Also, I've gained the urge to want to try cosplaying as well, because I saw so many great outfits while I was there. I have to give this thing a try myself. Gonna be a bit expensive, but I don't know, I'll work that out at a later date. Oh yeah, I was also able to visit Australia Zoo as well, because I was spending so much time near Brisbane. You know, Australia Zoo, the home of Mr. Crikey Man himself. I will eventually do a full write-up of this trip on my Facebook fan page, so if you want to know about the full details of the trip, go there and have a read-up. I don't know when I will do it because I've got a lot of other things I need to do first. Speaking of which, in regards to that, YouTube-related stuff. In terms of projects, the next one that I will be working on is, yep, you guessed it, Friendly Foxy 2. I'm not sure when that'll come out, because this one's probably a bit longer than the last one, and there's a lot more going on in it. It should be out sort of middle of the month, I would have thought, but don't quote me on that. In terms of other projects, I'm going to be finally getting around to doing the Jacksepticeye animated thing that I've been trying to do for the last couple of months. That should be out before month's end, probably beginning of next month, but again, I really don't know. It depends on how long it takes me. Oh, by the way, thank you so much for the 16,000 subscribers. I knew I would gain 15k before I got back, but I was certainly not expecting this many. So yeah, thank you once again for that. It is amazing how quickly this channel is growing. And that is pretty much it. So I've got a lot of work to be getting on with and a lot of stuff to be catching up on. Not to mention hundreds of messages I've got to go through. So, I will see you guys in the next video.